So you're going into this fight undefeated, and I want to know, does that kind of add the pressure to you, knowing that you've got an undefeated record? No.
No pressure. Every fight, I'm 0-0, and yeah, no pressure. I like to just go out and do what I love, and just showcase my skills.
So speaking of your skills, I looked at your record, and you have wins in lots of different, submissions and at knockouts and decisions. So can you explain to people who maybe haven't seen you fight yet, what kind of fighter are you?
High-paced fighter. I can strike, I can wrestle, I can grapple. I got it all.
So what's your background?
Wrestling. I wrestled at University of Missouri. Wrestled since I was at the age of 4, and didn't start doing MMA until I was about 24. And yeah. Ever since then, I've been really working on my boxing, kickboxing, grappling, and I still work on my wrestling.
So how did the transition from wrestling to MMA go? How did that come about?
So I ended up getting a job through my coach, Brian Smith. His brother is the director of operations at Atlantic Southern Paving. Got me a job down in South Florida. I wanted to get the hell away from Missouri. I lived it up for a year, worked a normal job, wasn't panning out like how I liked it. Ended up meeting Steve Mako. He got me into American Top Team, and it's history from there on out.
So this is your second Bellator fight, and it could possibly be your first Bellator finish. Is that something that you're looking for, a finish, or are you just going into fighting to win?
Whatever happens, happens. If I knock him out in the first 5 seconds, I knock him out in the first 5 seconds. If we go to decision, we go to decision. But I do have a game plan. I am going to execute it.
Is there anything, part of your game plan you can reveal? I know you don't want to reveal the whole thing, but give us a little teaser.
I'll just tell you it's going to be a high-paced fight, and it should be exciting. So
what have you noticed in your opponent, his strengths and his weaknesses?
Dude has good grappling for sure, BJJ. And he's 6'2", has a decent reach, can strike. I'd say that's about it. Has some decent striking and decent grappling, and he's a vet, so he probably has some tricks up his sleeve.
Awesome. And you're being pushed by Bellator, obviously, because they're bringing you here to talk to us. They see something in you, but you're placed on the post limit. So is that something that does the placement of where you fight matter to you as far as being on TV or not being on TV, or being on the app or not the app?
I don't really think much about it. I just go out to win, and I fight. As long as I'm getting paid, that's all that matters.
No, some fighters have said that they don't like being on the post limbs just because they have to wait the whole day, and they'd rather, if they're going to be on a prelim, they'd rather go first so they can get the fight out of the way. Is that something that you care about?
Yeah, a little bit, but out here it's not too bad because I think they only have 2 prelim fights, and then the main card, and then the post limbs. So I'm really just going to be like a main event in a way, because it starts at...
That's a good question.
It starts at 5. I think the main card starts at 6. So I'll end up fighting at 8 because I think I'm the second post-lim fight.
Right.
That's like...
So it's not like
1, 2, and then there's 5 main card fights.
Yeah.
So 7 fights. So I'll be the 9th fight.
Right.
It sounds like I'm going to be like the main event.
Right.
People after me, I'd kind of be like, damn, I got to wait all day. You might be fighting super late at night. If you're from the East Coast, you might be fighting at fucking 1.
Yeah. Yeah, well, last week there was, I think, 4 or 5 post-lims, and they went to about midnight, and that would have been crazy.
If I'm fighting at midnight or 1, then I'm like, damn, that does suck. But hey, it's the business. You gotta do what you gotta do,
So here's a chance for you to name drop a little bit. I know you train at American Top Team, so we're going to ask you a couple questions. First name that comes to mind when I say the nicest fighter.
The nicest fighter?
Nicest.
Huh. they're all nice.
So who's the nicest?
The nicest fighter.
The first name that came to mind when I said that.
Shit, I can't even think. I would have to say, so just a fighter, not a coach?
Oh, coach could work, yeah.
Oh, coach?
Yeah.
I'd have to say Mike Brown.
Okay,
yeah.
Why?
I don't know, he's just a good guy. Super nice guy. He was one of the first coaches to really open his arms up and, welcome me in. He actually welcomed me into his house when I was first starting out. I didn't have a place to live. I was going to fight full time, and they didn't have the fighter house ready, and he had an extra room, and he was like, hey man, if you want to quit your job sooner and you want to start training sooner, you can stay at my place. I was like, hell yeah, I quit my job right then.
That sounds pretty nice, yeah. How about the hardest worker?
Hardest worker.
Yeah.
Man, Joanna's a hard fucking worker, man.
Really?
When she's there, sometimes I'll be driving in the morning. I just wake up, about to go get some coffee, and I see this girl running. I'm like, what is she doing? Like, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. We have practice later. She's fucking running. You know, after the workouts, she's hitting the jump rope. Joanna's definitely one of the hardest workers I've ever seen.
What about someone that?
One other person, Kyoji.
Okay.
Kyoji's a hard worker too. That dude runs like 5 miles a day and then trains. Like, insane, yeah.
What about somebody that when you realize you got to roll with them or spar with them, you kind of go, oh shit, they're gonna beat me up?
When I roll, freaking Shoeface, man. That dude can grapple like a motherfucker.
What about striking?
Striking wise, who would I say striking wise? I went with wait, what's his name? Raphael, the former middleweight champ.
Okay.
I just sparred with him a couple weeks ago, and that dude's pretty damn good. Yeah, I give him props with his striking for sure.
And last one, just somebody that you think is underrated, maybe doesn't get the credit that they're due.
Say Jordan Young, okay. And he's a Bellator fighter. He's undefeated. I think 10-0, 11-0, and sometimes I feel like he could definitely, you know, he's definitely a little underrated, for sure.
And do you have a prediction for your fight?
Finish. You're gonna see a finish. Whether it's in the first, second, or third, I'm going for that finish.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.